Odion Ighalo may not be an option for Manchester United if the season is to resume, with his loan deal set to end on May 31st. Rob Dawson joining us now. He's written a piece on this. Rob, tell us more about the situation.
Yeah, well, the original loan agreement that United had with Shanghai Shenhua obviously finished at the end of May. That should have seen it covered for the end of the season. Obviously, with the coronavirus pandemic, the season has been delayed, and there's an issue now around whether Odion Ighalo will be allowed to play the remaining games at Man United. The issue at the moment seems to be that United would like to extend that loan agreement. Shanghai Shenhua, though, have got their season restarting in June, and obviously want their main striker back for the start of their season. It was never meant to be a permanent deal for United. It was someone who was brought in as an emergency replacement for Marcus Rashford, really. Marcus was injured in January, couldn't play for a couple of months, and they thought that Odion Ighalo would have been a perfect stopgap, and he was. The issue now is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still wants that option in his squad. They could have as many as 18 games in the next 2 months if the season is allowed to restart, and that's an awful lot of football to play with a squad that is still quite thin. United are still hopeful of making a last-minute appeal to Shanghai Shenhua and getting some kind of deal over the line to allow him to extend that loan, but at the moment it is up in the air a little bit.
So are the clubs actually in talks to do that? Yeah,
I mean, talks are ongoing. As I say, United are hopeful, if not particularly optimistic, that this will be agreed. As far as they're concerned, the ball is in Shanghai Shenhua's court. Obviously, he is their player. They are his parent club. They own his rights. It's up to them, really, what happens from now on. Shanghai Shenhua have every right to want to get him back for the start of their season. Obviously, there may also be another issue around whether he's allowed back into China to start the season. There's quarantine rules around people coming back into China because of the restrictions that are in place. Obviously, Odion Ighalo is still in Manchester at the moment. He's still training at Carrington with the rest of his teammates. So there may also be an issue around that. It is going to take a few more negotiations to get this sorted out, and it is particularly complicated because of all the situation as it is and the things that are going on. It's something that no one ever expected when this deal was agreed way back in January. As I say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is hopeful that there may be some kind of positive resolution to this, but at the moment it is up in the air.
As you said, he has done exactly what was asked of him when he did come in. Would Solskjaer look to, if he does get the chance to keep him for a little bit longer, maybe look to keep him on a more permanent basis?
Well, yeah, I mean, that is an interesting one, because United, behind the scenes, made it very clear when he signed that this was not an option to be a permanent transfer. There was no option to buy written into the original loan agreement with Shanghai Shenhua. It was very much a temporary agreement, a loan for a couple of months to see them through a difficult patch without Marcus Rashford. Odion Ighalo, though, has played so well. He scored 4 goals in 8 games. He's offered a different option for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that people have started to wonder whether United would like to take him on a permanent basis. The only problem for Odion, obviously, United is his boyhood club. He loves it there. He wants to stay out the rest of the season. He'd like to sign there permanently if he could. He doesn't really fit the age profile of what United are looking for at the moment. In terms of the way he plays, the option that he gives Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's been great. But he is 30 years old. He does demand quite a high wage. In terms of the bean counters at Old Trafford, he's not really what they're looking to sign permanently. As I say, though, Odion Ighalo has done so well that question has been asked, and he's done pretty much everything that's asked of him. He's done everything he possibly could to make this permanent. Up to now, though, it's up to United and Shanghai Shenhua to see if they can come to some kind of agreement.
So that's what it all will come down to, whether Odion Ighalo will return with Manchester United if the Premier League is to return.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.